Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. This video will be about the Mexican artist Frida Kahlo and how she has demonstrated power through the suffering she endured during her life. The video will be separated into 4 parts where I talk specifically about different areas in her life where she showed suffering as power. In this first video, I will focus on Frida's individuality. The purpose of this first video is to discuss the idiosyncrasies and specifics of Frida's experience of being a female artist in Mexico. This will help to understand the type of suffering she experienced and indeed that related to different phases of an artist's characteristics. How was Frida unique? One manner in which Frida was unique in Mexico was her way of dressing. She adopted the traditional dress of Tijuana. The dresses were originally worn by the Tehuantepec women, one of the oldest matriarchal groups in Mexico. Her outfits consisted of long, flowy skirts, embroidered blouses, hand-woven shawls, silver jewelry, and braided hairstyles with flowers. The look, accompanied with her striking features, called her attention her appearance and self in a way that approximates spectacle and masquerade. But body adornment does not only or necessarily mean fashion or exotica or a desire to make yourself the object of the gaze. Frida, since she was born, was surrounded by mirrors and photographs. Her father was a photographer, and many a time she was the subject of his images. Whenever she felt apprehensive, as if she was losing herself, all she did was look in the mirror. The reflection temporarily replaced her internal ability to sustain a sense of self. Frida created her own image, and it wasn't only her outfit, jewelry and hairstyle, but also her striking facial hair, unibrow and moustache. Natural beauty was what she believed in and seen in every representation of her portraits and photographs. She did not care about conforming to the social beauty standards of the time. This is what she imagined as beautiful and didn't conceal but demonstrated it to the whole world through her self-portraits. At times she even highlighted her facial hair by making it darker and fuller than it actually was, as seen in her painting Self-Portrait with a Monkey, 1938. Opposites was a theme that was often encountered in her work and also present in her identity. Frida liked to exaggerate her feminine costume and emphasize her masculine attributes. The facial hair was not only beautiful to her, but a statement. In inventing herself, she planned her own myth and legend. Kahlo's life story are fraught with uncertainty or inconsistencies, including her date of birth. She claimed she was born in the year of the Mexican Revolution, but in actual fact was born 3 years before. She spun and constructed her identity, creating many selves. The idea of having many selves is very contradicting, and I understand how it must have felt extremely conflicting. Considering some of the unique features of Frida's subjective lived experiences, multiplicity and fluid identity is key. We can see this in such works like The Two Fridas, 1939, where she not only paints herself, but paints herself twice. In Illness as Metaphor by Susan Sontag, she explains that being sick can in a result purify an approach into a constant life of identity, duplicities, collapses of individualism and personality. When we die, that is when, for the first time, we are in a state of truth. Her sense of self dominates her painting. Imbalance and disharmony fuel the emotional content of her art. Painting herself gashed, cracked or broken refers not only to her multiple surgeries, but to her experience of herself. Having this many selves brings to question the person behind the identity she created for herself. You start to ask, what qualities did this person possess that made them want to create a whole new them or various versions of themselves? Being known for her self-portraits, you know for sure that she knew within herself that she was a subject interesting enough to paint. It could be owed to her narcissistic qualities. Women who loved themselves, according to Freud, is the type of female that is the most purest and truest. Though narcissism seems like a nasty and offensive quality to have as a woman, and then state it as a benefit, But various feminist theoreticians assert that narcissism, along with hysteria, is a possible position of resistance. To conclude, Frida was unapologetically herself, and what made Frida unique was her own lived experiences. No one had the same life as her and dissected the private, hidden aspects of her life like she did. Her masquerade gaze both shows and hides the physical, emotional suffering. Her power was making herself the subject of her art. Painting brought hope, pleasure, and power to herself. She regained control over her beaten body by creating this masquerade of beauty and unflinching gaze. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed learning about Frida Kahlo. The next part will be out soon and will be about disability as power in her life. If there's any other artist or designer's life you want to learn more about, please leave it down in the comments below. I would really appreciate it if you would leave a like, please subscribe and put your notifications on so that you can be notified for when I next post. See you on the next one. Bye!